So he actually made me like change my shirt like in the middle of the road. Like he made me take the shirt off, and then once I put my actual shirt on and handed him his Adidas shirt, he threw the Adidas shirt in the middle of the street. So it was like you didn't even like want the shirt. Like you just wanted to degrade me for real. Like you just wanted to embarrass me. Like
Hmm.
like it was just so much. So like we going back and forth for I don't even know how long, but basically once the Uber pulls up, it was like, this Haitian guy. He sees us like arguing, and Kutty starts telling the Uber guy like, "Nah, she's not getting in. She's not getting in. Like he's not letting me like, leave with the Uber." So the Uber tells me like, "Well, I'm just gonna have to cancel this trip because I guess he didn't. I'm assuming he didn't want to be involved in whatever was going on
Oh,
because
God.
Cuddy's yelling at him and telling him that I can't get in and I can't leave and all this shit." So the Uber left, and I'm like literally sitting out there crying, like what am I finna do? Like I'm stranded because of you, like. And honestly, when I get in the Uber, like, where am I about to go? like, like, like this shit is just crazy. So I try to like walk away, like I start like trying to walk down the street like fast from him with my daughter, and he got back in his truck and he starts like following me down the street. And I guess he had like a cup. I'm assuming it was a cup of alcohol, but it was a cup of something, some type of liquid, and he threw it on my back. Like when me and my daughter was walking, he threw it on us. Um, so then I tried to like, you know, start walking the opposite direction so that he's not able to, follow me. Like he would have to turn his truck around.
Uh-uh.
So I start walking the opposite direction, and immediately when I start walking in the opposite direction, this lady stops because it's raining outside, and she's like, do you need a ride? And I'm like, yes, please. I'm like crying. I'm like, yes, please. Like I need a ride, like somewhere. I need to, I need to get out of here. So I get in the back of her truck or whatever, and at some point he gets behind us and starts following us. So we get on the highway, and I just tell the lady, I'm like, just take me to Applebee's. But I can see him following us like this whole time, and like he starts like getting close to her bumper and like trying to run her off the
Oh,
road. Mind you, it's still raining outside, and I have my daughter with me, and this is a complete stranger who offered, me a ride,
did
who
y'all let her
I've now
finish
put in
telling the
danger.
story before y'all start that asking all of them questions about the police and all of that, judging her and shit? Let her finish telling the story. She not finished. She gonna get there.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
So
Jay.
the lady starts telling me, well, does he have his gun? Like, does he have a gun? And I'm like, honestly, I don't know. Like, I know he has a gun, but I don't know him to ever carry it with him. Like, the only time I ever see his gun is, at home when he's at his house. Um, so
Cause
I'm like,
Jay, there was
on
an incident about that too, right? We can get to that afterwards.
right.
Right.
So
Go ahead.
I'm telling her like I don't really know, whether he has it with him. I don't know him to carry it with him or whatever. And she's like, well, I think, we need to go ahead and call the police because like I can't keep driving. Like basically, like initially I had told her to take me to Applebee's, but once he continued to follow us after so long, it was just kind of like, we just kept driving. Like we wasn't gonna stop nowhere. And so she tells me to call the police. I call the police as we're driving. They're asking me, what's the nearest exit that we're approaching. So we tell them to exit or whatever. They tell us to, go ahead and get off. And then they let us know that because there was like a Kroger, like maybe like a minute or so, like right as you get off the exit. So the person that we were on the phone with, they were like, we have a police station, we have an officer stationed at that Kroger. Just go ahead and go to that Kroger parking lot, and we'll have the officer meet you in the Kroger parking lot. So we drive over to the Kroger parking lot. Cuddy's still following behind us. We meet the officers. It's actually another vehicle, another police vehicle that pulls up. So there's actually two police cars out there. And Cuddy get us out the car. I stay in the lady's truck the entire time. So he immediately gets out his truck and he's talking to the officers, basically telling them how I broke his phone, and he's following us because he wants to get his money back for his phone and all of this stuff, whatever. So of course the police, come and question me about it. And, I'm like, I'm telling them the situation. Like, I'm here from out of town, and this is what has happened. This man just put me and my daughter out of his house, and he's following us down the road. I did deny that I broke his phone to the officers because I didn't know, whatever, but that's neither here nor there. But I'm like, like, I just. I just needed to get out of this situation. Like, I didn't know
Like
what to
that was
do.
irrelevant. The officers asking you about a broken fucking girl, that's irrelevant. Like, so
I
I would
agree.
have lied to their asses too. What the fuck? I'm telling you that this
Yeah.
nigga running this. Did you tell them that he tried to run y'all off the road?
Well, we were, yeah, me and the lady, because they also talked to whoever the
And a
lady
baby.
was that was driving. Yeah,
Right.
they talked to her as well. So we let them know everything that was going on. But they were basically like, well, it's a he say, she say, situation. Do you guys want to do a report and all of this? And, and he did take
But
my driver's
why? And she
license.
had a witness. See, that's the thing. She had a witness, so it's really not a he say, she say situation. She had a witness,
Yep.
somebody that can verify her story, a fucking total stranger.
Yep. Mm.
So basically, after we end up talking to the officers or whatever, we decide, we didn't do a police report. Like, nobody was, gonna do anything. The officers let us know, hey, we're gonna hold him back. Y'all go ahead and leave. That way, he's not able to follow you. And so we do, we leave, and the lady takes me maybe like to like another Applebee's that was probably like, I don't know, 10 minutes down the street or whatever, just so I could charge my phone and figure out like where I was, gonna book a hotel to, or where me and my daughter was gonna sleep that night. you know. Um. So yeah.
Right. I feel like this. This how I feel. I ain't gonna lie, Cuddy, you a weak ass nigga. Like that's some weak ass. That's some weak ass, puss ass bullshit. All because your
Sorry.
broke ass didn't want to fucking help pay for some shit that you fucking broke. Because that's all it was, bitch. Your pockets was on E. That's what the fuck it was. He did not want to help her get that fucking car fixed because his stupid ass put the shit in the wrong fucking way. That's what that was. Instead of him being a real motherfucking man, knowing he not a mechanic, instead of him saying, no, hold on, wait a minute. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. You don't know what the fuck you doing. Let's go to a fucking mechanic shop. Like, let's try to find, even if he had to find a shade tree mechanic, I know y'all know what shade tree mechanic is. If you don't know what that is, that's somebody that work not at a shop. Okay? Not at a shop. That's what a shade tree mechanic is. But he could have found somebody to put the fucking battery in, his homeboy, somebody,
And
instead of
not
him
only
trying
that,
to do the
L,
shit himself.
and not only that, okay, so you broke. Your ass don't want to pay for this car, but this girl daughter in the rain, a whole innocent baby, a whole child, threw that girl shit out in the rain on the ground, and then tormented them for the rest of the night.
Basically, on some weird ass, freaky ass shit. Like, nigga, you put her out the house. What the fuck you following her for? What are we following? Why is you doing that? Let her go. You can't
Mm.
say you was worried about her because you wouldn't have put her out while it was fucking raining. Like, you antagonizing somebody. Like, what the fuck?
Mm.
Okay, and Jade, even with all of that, what did you do once that was over with? Once you got away from him, because I'm assuming the police leave, did nobody go to jail? Okay,
Yeah. So
right.
I ended up, finding a place for me and my daughter to stay. Stayed there for a few days till I got my car back. Once I got my car back, we drove back to Florida. I want to say maybe like the day after we got back to Florida, he had actually reached out to me. But before he ended up reaching out to me, I had actually like found out about him actually not being not, I wouldn't say separated from his wife, but
Wait,
actually
so how
like
did you
still.
get your carpet? How did the battery? What happened with the battery? How did
I had
y'all
got
see
it
that
towed
when
to
you got a car?
Volkswagen. I got it towed to Volkswagen. They fixed it for me. It took maybe like 2 or 3 days. They fixed it for me, and then I Ubered to Volkswagen, went and got it the next morning, drove back to Florida.
Okay,
But I
so
paid for
hold
that.
on,
I
Jay,
paid
because
for it. He never gave me no
She
money
paid.
for
She
it.
paid for it. She paid for it.
okay, so Jay, question. Okay, so all of this has occurred, right?
Hmm.
So did you end up moving out there before it got that bad?
No, mm-mm. This was after the fact.
So you ended up moving like after all of this. So when did you actually move out there? Because you ended up moving
Um,
out there.
yeah, that was in like November 2021, a few months ago.
Okay, so
So y'all been talking for a year and you move out there. So
Correct.
once you're living out there or whatever, then that's when the situation happened with him putting y'all out, right? Or no?
No, 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 no. That situation happened before I moved out here.
Okay. So before you moved out there, that's when that situation happened. Okay, so after that, obviously you stopped talking to him, right? After that situation happened, right?
Well, he reached out to me maybe like the day after I got back to Florida, because
Mm.
obviously once my car got fixed, the next morning I drove to Florida, um, back to my house, and he had reached out to me maybe like the next day. Um, I don't recall him like apologizing or anything like that. I think we mainly just kind of argued. He still kind of felt like he was kind of trying to place blame on me, saying that I disrespected his house, but I still didn't understand how I disrespected his house. Like the only thing I didn't do was take out the trash, and then when you started yelling at me about it, of course I'm gonna raise my voice and yell back at you. And you're saying I'm disrespecting your daughter by yelling in your house, but I mean I'm gonna match your energy. So that's just what took place. But he called that disrespect. So it was basically like an argument. Like he's was standing his ground. Like he felt like I disrespected him, and like it was never no apology after that.
Okay, so once he didn't apologize, how did you end up back dealing with him and moving out there? First of all, what made you even move out there?
So I don't remember how I ended up like back dealing with him specifically. Like it kind of became a thing where like we would get into it over something serious, and then we would just start talking again. Like it just became a cycle. So like even though that situation happened, I don't remember what he did to fix the situation, but we ended up talking again and ended up seeing each other again. And then I moved out here in November. But there's a confusion on here that people are saying I moved in with Kutty. I've never lived with Kutty. I just want to be clear on that. I was never living with Kutty.
Mm.
Um, so just
Okay,
wanted to make that
so
clear.
why did you choose to move to Atlanta?
I mean, I guess just to be closer to him. I guess like that's
okay.
just what it
Now,
was.
Right.
Did you tell him that? Did he agree upon that? Did he tell you to do that?
I mean, honestly, he had asked me several times to move out here previously. Like during the times that we had been talking and I had been staying in Florida, we had had several conversations about me moving out here. He had me convinced, like sometimes like he wanted me to move in with him and all this stuff. But obviously, once that situation happened with my daughter and him putting me out, like like I'm not gonna stay with you after that. Like I would never have gotten a place with you. And then on top of that, I don't know the situation, what's gonna happen with the outcome of, your marriage and stuff like that. Like that's still always on my mind. Like I didn't fully know what was going on with that situation until later.
Okay, so when you told him that you was moving out there and things like that, how was his reaction?
Um, I mean, like he wasn't like mad about it. Like, he was always hitting me up to like see me and things like that. But when I first got out here, like I kind of still like I wouldn't say that we were on like the best of terms, so I wasn't trying to see him all the time. So like anytime that he would reach out to me to like go out with him or come see him or whatever the case may be, like I wasn't really trying to like link with him all the time. Like I kind of wanted my space and to try to get my mind together. Like I really was trying to, like, I don't know, I guess gain control of the situation at that point, like try to see like I don't even know. Like I don't know, but I wasn't really, engaging in conversations with him and seeing him when I initially came out here. Um and then it wasn't until kind of like maybe like a month of me being in Atlanta that's when I started like hanging out with him again and like seeing him more often, and things had kind of gotten back to normal, but he was still, talking to me disrespectfully and things like that.
So, Jay, did he ever get a chance to see your daughter again?
Yeah.
What did she say?
Well, he did actually apologize to my daughter face to face the very first time that he saw her again. Um, so that apology did take place directly with my daughter. Um,
So how did
but
you feel about that apology? Like, did you look at, well, he apologized to her, so I
I mean, I kind
guess
of
it's
took it
okay.
for because he's not the type of person to apologize. Like he just kind of makes you feel like I'm gonna make it right without saying like, "Hey, I messed up and I'm wrong and I apologize for doing this." Like he never actually says like, I'm wrong and I apologize for this. So, and I didn't ask him to apologize to my daughter. So for him to actually take that initiative, to do that, it kind of, meant a lot to me. So I felt like, okay, like maybe this is kind of like, I don't know, I kind of felt like,
So do you still feel that way about that situation with the apology? Like, do you still feel like, well, yeah, that was big of him?
no, I mean, at this point, like where it stands today, I don't think anything of him. I think he's trash.
So, Jade, do you think? So I'm just gonna be clear. Like we're being abused as women, right? And we have children involved. You get the opportunity. Like he scared the hell out that baby, and I know that baby was in the
Yeah.
back seat holding on to you for dear life and saying, "Mama, I'm scared." I can only
She was
imagine what.
crying.
I know. So for
Yeah, she
you
was
to have the
crying.
strength, you got your car, you went home, then you brought her right back to your abuser. Do
I
you feel
know.
as though that's setting her up as a young woman to feel as though it's okay?
Yeah, I don't think
These
her age is important.
yeah, these men will
She
abuse you,
old enough.
but if
She's old
they
enough.
apologize, it's okay. Do you feel as though you set that tone?
I was just thinking, you said it better than me because
Yeah.
I was about to.
Do you feel
I'm
you
No,
set?
still gonna do
absolutely. I can admit, like in this situation, I've been completely wrong. Like this is a situation I should have gotten out of immediately once my nude pictures was exposed on the front panel. Like that should have been the end straw. Like once that first situation happened, like that should have been it. And then none of
Okay.
this other thing, like none of this would have been, you know,
Well, I have
it would have
another
been
question.
nothing.
Have you had the mother and daughter conversation? Because I think you need to make sure your baby understand what happened here and the do's and
Yeah,
don'ts here. Have you had that
yeah,
mother and
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. More than once.
what
Okay,
did you
so let
explain to
me.
her about Cuddy? Yeah, I
Mm,
want to hear. What did you talk to her about the situation with Cuddy?
I mean, I don't really want to go into anything personal that I discuss with, my daughter or whatever, but yes, I did address it with her more than once.
On the lines of what I'm going through. This is like meaning he's hitting me. You don't go through this. He's yelling and making you scared. You don't go. That's what I mean. Like that type of conversation. These are the men you stay away from. Like what mommy's doing. I made a mistake, but I pray better. Like that type. I ain't saying nothing personal in detail. Like, did you make sure she understood that this was a no no?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But it's like me telling her and actions are different things. So it's more so like I have to change the situation. Like I have to love myself and be better. Like I have to do better for my daughter. Like I can't, continue to be in a situation and allow somebody to, treat me this way and, you know, do these things to me like it's not right. And I'm not living my life. Like I'm still young and I
Where's her
don't feel like
father?
I'm 100% to my daughter.
Where's her dad?
He's in.
Jay, aren't you okay? So Jay, you like 28, right? Are you like 28 or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay,
And where's the baby's father?
Um. I mean, he's never really been like.
Okay.
okay. So Jay, do you because it's like you know better, but it's sort of, and this is my own perspective, okay? This ain't got nothing to do with, this is my own perspective. And I'm saying this to you, like, not out of, I'm not trying to bash you or none of that, right? Like, this is just straight out of from woman to woman. Like, I understand your pain. I get it. It's like accountability. It's like, how can you, it's sort of like, you like ruining your daughter, like setting her up for failure. It's sort of
Mm.
like you put her in this situation where it's like you told her this is okay. He can put us out in the rain. A man can do whatever he want to do to you, and if he apologizes, it's okay for him to come back. Like that's what it looked like to me. Like that's like, and that's the part that I don't get. Like I don't get that part about, like, I ain't gonna sugarcoat it or nothing. Like I don't get that part about it. Like what would make you, like, you love him, not your daughter.
Mm.
So
Right.
what would make you take her and put her in front of this motherfucker for him to apologize and make it like it's okay?
Yep. And I already told you, like I already knew like the judgments and the opinions are gonna come. Like I completely understand that, and I know that. Like I said, like I take full accountability. Accountability. Like I just, I don't know. I don't even have no excuse.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like Jade, like you owe her way more than what the fuck you owe him. You owe her way more. I do feel like that situation right there shouldn't have happened.
No, absolutely. Yeah,
Like
He should have
that
never
absolutely.
set
shit
eyes
right
on
there
her.
shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have
He
happened.
should have never
Like
set
my
eyes on
thing is
her.
this: you don't need to apologize to her. You don't even need to fucking talk to her. Like, what are you apologizing to her for?
Yeah, I guess just at that time, like like I said, like the initiative was just such a major thing in my eyes. Like, and
Mm.
like I said, I was. I
So
was
Jay, let me ask you something. How many times have he apologized to you for doing the
Mm.
things that he did to you? How many times?
um I mean, they're not like sincere apologies. Like he would be like,
But I'm saying, how
"Oh,
many times has he apologized to you though?
I mean, I can't count. I don't know.
But he has apologized to you before, right?
Not in a sincere way. Like if I can give you an example, it would be like, I apologize, but I only did that because you da 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 da. Da."
Making
Okay,
you.
so basically, he's never
It's your fault.
apologized to you. Then is
It's your
that what you're
fault.
Yeah, it's not
saying?
like a genuine apology. Like,
So he's never apologized to you, right? So you have to think about this. This nigga ain't never even apologized to me. So what would make you think that his apology to your daughter was genuine? What would make you think
yeah,
that?
like yeah, looking back, obviously, like at this moment, you know, I realized that.
Do you realize that he used your baby as to manipulate you
Hmm.
to get you back?
Um, yeah, I mean, I guess you can say that.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
was an
I mean, I'm
all
saying
from
no.
you.
Is that what you think? Because you don't sound too sure. Like, is that what you think?
I mean, the way that you're putting it, I mean, it makes sense. Yeah, like, yeah,
Like
it
he
wasn't a
used her
sincere
as a pawn
apology.
because obviously him apologizing to her made you see him in a completely different light. Basically, him
I wouldn't say,
apologizing to her made you be like, "Oh my God, he apologized to her. He must really mean it." And so
I
basically, he
wouldn't say,
used her as a pawn,
I wouldn't say a completely different light. Like, I didn't see him in a completely different light, but it was like major to me that, he actually took that
a
initiative
completely
to,
different light. A part of you saw a part of him that you hadn't saw before when it came to apologizing.
Hmm.
right,
Because he never apologized to you before, genuinely.
right.
Right. Okay, so now let's talk about the weapon situation. So there was a weapon involved. There was an incident where a weapon was placed, what was it, to your head, in your face,
Yeah, so
or what?
basically I was at his house one night and I wanted to leave. Cause he was just like trying to go through my phone again and like I don't know, like he's always on weird shit. Like it's always like a fight that gotta be picked like all the time. Like I don't want to argue with you.
Jay, this
So
is
I'm
my
telling
question, real quick. Who did you? Who was he looking for in your phone? Who did he think you were
I
talking
don't
to?
know. I don't know. So like there was a situation where he did take me to we went to the liquor store one time here in Atlanta and there was a guy that had asked me for my phone number and I did give the guy my phone number and I made Cuddy aware like when I got back in the truck I was like, I just gave this guy my phone number whatever, but I didn't have any intentions like it was wrong of me to do that. Like yeah, but at the same time like me and Cuddy not in a relationship, but it was wrong of me to do that. So I gave the guy my phone number
It
or
was wrong
whatever.
of you to
So
do what?
Getting another guy
Wait, what she
her
say
phone
she
number.
did?
Gave another guy her phone number while Cuddy was waiting in the car at the liquor store.
And it was wrong of you to do that, even though y'all went in a relationship.
Y'all went in a relationship, boo.
okay,
And
well
you
you're
see how
right.
you answered that? Like right there, you see how you
That's
answered
why I be
that?
laughing when you say that. That's
No,
why I just
listen,
leave it
hold
Uh,
on,
alone.
wait. I'm getting something. Now, Jay, you see how you answered that, right? And you
yeah,
still acknowledge to you that was still wrong.
yeah.
Because you just said it again when you said, yeah, it was wrong. You see what I'm talking about? Y'all see what I mean with the Stockholm? Thank you. Thank you. That's what I'm talking. Even without her knowing, even without her knowing, like she's still acknowledging that that was wrong. Okay, so go
And
ahead.
then
Yeah,
not
because
only
there
that
ain't
too,
shit
L,
wrong with
like
it because y'all wasn't in no relationship.
right, y'all were in a relationship. But did you feel as though that would
Okay,
have
so
ignited him though? Do you feel as though he would? Why did you go back and tell him? So you got the number on the low. Why did you
mhm.
feel the need to go back and let him know that?
I don't know. To be honest, like I don't know. Maybe to
So
make him
did you
jealous
tell
or
him to
something. I
make
don't know.
him mad or just like
She
Maybe to
said
make
maybe
him jealous. Like I don't know.
because you do you
okay,
feel as though you.
so
So let's do this. So we call those little girl games. So when we were growing up, I had a cousin. When she didn't get enough attention from the guy that she was liking or dealing with, she would do what we call little girl games. Okay, she would get a number from a guy and let him know, or call somebody over the phone and let him know. So, do you feel as though he wouldn't give you enough attention or something? Do you think you were falling in love with him and he wasn't giving you enough attention, and that was your
No,
only way
it
of
was
getting
none
him?
of that. It was none of that because honestly, like he was calling me and reaching out to me more than I was reaching out to him. So it was never like I wasn't getting attention. Like I was always getting attention, but it was just like I honestly can't tell you why I went back and told him.
Mm, that was risky, but
uh,
I'm glad you survived. All right, so Ed was asking you about a weapon.
the
Carry on.
weapon. Okay, is Lyrica here?
Oh, you talking about
Key
Key
I think
Lyric.
Lyric?
so.
Key Lyric.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if
Is
she's
she
here.
in here? Where's she at? She muted. Key Lyric is muted.
So let me just tell this to Bella in the comments. Bella, this is her interview. I would hate to see you get kicked and muted because that's what they're gonna do. So
Who?
you
Wait,
can
who
watch.
here?
Bella.
Wait, hold on. Oh damn. Yeah, why you
What I did, baby.
I ain't even know she was here. Was she? Oh, she been here for a minute. I saw her come in. She been here the whole time, damn near.
But she just made a
Yeah.
remark.
Right.
So I'm just
Okay,
saying
so
she's gonna get
Bella.
muted. I don't want her to get muted or booted. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so look, she been making little. I didn't even notice that was her. I saw the name come in, but okay. So yeah, so with Bella being over here, okay. So Bella, can you please not address Jade over here? What's the problem, shenanigans? That's brave. Yeah, like can you? Okay, so over here. Okay, but I'm just saying you're addressing her. Like over here, can you not address her over here? Because she don't even want to talk about the incident. Like that ain't
Yeah.
even came up. So
Yeah, we're not bringing you up at all, Bells. That ain't. Yeah.
right, like your name ain't came up or none of that. So yeah. Okay. So yeah, so the incident with the weapon. Okay, so can you tell us about that?
I mean, there's been a few, like I said, so there was a time where, he didn't want me to leave or whatever. So I'm like, telling him like I want to leave. Like I'm not finna sit up here and argue with you all night. Like this is not what I came over here for. I didn't come over here for you to start going through my phone and try to pick fights with me and do all this. Like that's not what I'm here for. So he pulls out his gun and he like points it at me and he's telling me he's like you ain't going nowhere or I'm gonna you know and I'm
Chaos.
like
Yeah.
no not well no not that word but he was like I'm gonna shoot.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I'm kind of taken aback. Like, this really, like, because I've never been in this type of situation before. I don't, you know, be in domestic violence situations. I've never had somebody point a gun at me. Like, it was just, I don't know, it was kind of crazy. So I'm just sitting here, like, in shock. I'm like, is this really, like, what's going on? So then he grabs me and he, like, pulls me back on the bed or whatever, and he gets on top of me. And he puts the gun, like, I don't know, the name of the part of the gun, but
Nozzle,
like where the
the nozzle, and say GUN. Like say
okay
GUN. Like don't
G GUN.
the
Um,
nozzle, the barrel part, the nozzle part, the nose part.
yeah. So he puts that like in my mouth, and like he's like telling me like you not going nowhere, like you my bitch, like you ain't going nowhere, and all this crazy shit. So I'm just like, okay, like
Wait, hold on.
what the
So
fuck?
was this before you decided to go? Wait, was this before you moved out there?
No, this is after I moved out here.
So this
Jay,
was
where
after all the daughter stuff, all of that. This was after all of this. So okay.
uh
So he puts
Jesus,
that in your mouth, and what the fuck is going through your mind?
and where your baby?
Like, I mean, I'm just like in shock. Like, I don't know how to feel because, like I said, I had never been in no type of situation like that before. And I'm like, I don't think that he's actually going to pull.
Who over here? Who
Stop
up in
saying,
here?
Jay, you can't say think, baby. You can't listen.
But
Stop
I'm
saying
saying
you
like
don't think.
Okay.
be-
So okay.
wait, let
So
me just finish my sentence real quick. I just
yeah,
wanted to
cause yeah,
say
yeah, that's yeah. Go ahead.
at that time, like I didn't think that he was actually going, like even though he had the gun on me, like I didn't think that he was actually going to pull the trigger because of the fact that our kids were in the house. Like I'm thinking, like this man is older, like he's not this stupid to actually, you know, do something like this, like to actually proceed with something like this, especially with our kids in the house.
What
Okay,
happens next,
so
baby? Yeah, what happens next, baby?
so what happened? What happens next? So once he do all of this, you thinking, oh shit, you ain't gonna do nothing in your mind, but you never said it because you couldn't talk because you had the barrel of a weapon in your mouth. Okay, so what happens? Like, what the fuck? Like, like when he take it out? Like, what do you do? Do you get up and leave?
Yeah, it wasn't for like a long period of time. Like it wasn't like we were, for minutes like him on top of me with it in my mouth. Like it wasn't for a long period of time. Like I'm like, I pushed his arm back or whatever and then he, kind of gets off of me and I did end up staying with him that night cuz like I'm scared to leave for real. Um like that's just like
I
what it
can believe
was.
that. I can definitely believe that. I can believe that. Girl, bless you. Bless you, Jade. All right, so you stay and you wake up.
How long
Did
did you stay? How many days did you stay?
It wouldn't be for days. Like, I would just, stay with him maybe, through like the midday the next day or whatever, and then go back to the house after that. Or sometimes I would leave in the morning if I need to actually work the next day. It just depends whether it's like the weekend or during the week and what I have to do
Okay,
the
so
next
can
day.
y'all please gift the panel? Thank you.
and let me
Please
ask a
gift the
question
panel.
in
It's
regards to
4.5 people in here. Please gift the panel. Show me and M some love.
thank you.
Thank
And let's
you.
ask a question in regards to whether or not he is a convicted felon. Is he, Jade?
He is. He is.
So
To my knowledge, yes.
what is he
Yeah, he
doing with the
is.
gun? Well, what is he doing with a gun?
None. That don't work over here, baby. Bye.
What is he doing? What is a convicted felon doing with a gun, and let alone putting it in a young lady's mouth while the kids are downstairs?
Well,
M.
not
Say
downstairs,
G-U-N.
but
G-U-N.
GUN. Sorry, this is for entertainment purposes. Sorry, bigo.
it wasn't downstairs. Like it's just
Where were the
one
kids?
floor.
Okay, the kids were so they were in the same floor. Okay,
Yeah, they were just in the other room.
Right.
so right next door in the other room are kids, and in the other room you got a barrel stuck down your mouth and of a loaded gun.
G-U-N. M.
Did you in? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, because they probably in here reporting, and you know that's a trigger word for. Okay, all right. So you stay the night after that. So do you get up and leave? After you spend the night, you get up and leave. That's why I said, how many days were you out there after this incident?
It wouldn't have been for days. Like I always leave like the next day, whether it be in the morning or like later on that day or whatever.
Okay, and at this time you were living in ATL. You had just moved out there, right?
I can't recall which specific month this happened in, but yeah, I was actually living out here, but I can't
Out
recall
there.
like it may have been in like maybe like
Oh,
January, February.
oh, okay. So how do you put yourself in another situation with him after this one for another weapon to be pulled on you again? What
Okay,
happens?
Lyric in here now. I just seen her in the comments so we can talk
Where
about
she
that
at?
other situation.
Okay, so yeah, where she at? Can she type something, add or something?
I want her to
Thank
speak
you.
to the situation that was being addressed this morning on a different live about a subway situation and about the
So,
R word.
oh, okay. So Key Lyric is gonna come in and bear witness to a situation that happened today in regards to a subway and the RAP whatever word.
Yeah.
RAP.
E.
Oh, what Cuddy got charged with? Okay, a while ago. Yeah. Okay then. Yeah. Okay. So
Okay.
for the people who don't know, I mean, I'm assuming that y'all knew that that was. So speaking of that, so when you Googled him, that didn't pop up, Jade.
No, because I think when I was looking at it, like I could only see like maybe stuff that he had actually went to court for. Like
You mean went
the
to
thing about
jail for? You mean went to jail for?
maybe something like that. I don't know. I don't really like. I don't know about the court documents and how to read all that. I don't know. But I know with that specific situation, like I didn't see that initially. I don't know if it was because it was in like a different county than what I was searching in, or if it was because he didn't actually get charged with any like that was actually like dropped or whatever. Like I don't
Well,
know,
I don't
but
know
that didn't come up initially.
because I well actually I was the first person to actually expose that right there. Like in 2020, it was 2020 or the beginning of 2021. So I found it. So I don't know how what you did to where you didn't see it, but yeah, but I found it. I actually saw that.
Okay.
So I knew about that already. Okay, so you didn't see it or whatever. Okay, so Key Leary, if she wants to come up, she has to put ad or something. Like, or she has to come to the queue. Thank you, Kia. Oh, there she go.
She,
Okay. Yeah, she just put I'm here. All righty. Okay, maybe she have to come to the queue for it to add her. Let me see. Okay, so why are y'all in the queue? Okay, so can y'all drop from the queue? Okay, come on, Key Lyric.